So, no doubt you've heard about feminine energy, but what is feminine energy and how can we use it on and off the dance floor? How can we harness its power in Kizomba? That is what my video today is going to be all about. Because when we harness our feminine energy, we can not only improve our dancing, our connection to our partner, and our presence on and off the dance floor so that you can feel confident, magnetic, and fully present in your body. So, let me share with you my 4 feminine energy habits that will make you into a magnetic woman. Habit number 1 is practicing being open and receiving. So, to be a feminine woman, to have feminine energy, is to actually be free, to be in flow, and to receive. When you're in your feminine energy, you're actually in your receiving energy. So, how can we practice that? Well, the first and most simplest way is actually just to smile. When we're smiling, we're like emitting happy energy into the world and we're actually attracting things to us because we're on that vibration of happiness, abundance. So smiling. So I know it can be quite frustrating sometimes on the dance floor, for example, where you might miss dancing with someone, or you're waiting around for a dance, or your feet hurt because of your heels. But if we're smiling around, then we are attracting kind of people to want to dance with us. People want to know you, get to know you. So it's not just on the dance floor, it's off the dance floor as well. So when you're smiling out and around town, for example, you're attracting people to come and say hello to you, speak to you, want to know more about you. So definitely practice smiling. The other way is to practice your receiving and openness is actually saying yes more. Specifically for this video and for dancing, I'm saying yes to dances. I've actually seen like firsthand on the dance floor, like men, average men asking women to dance and they're saying no. And I'm like, why are you saying no to the dance? Like there's nothing wrong with him. He's not a safety risk. He doesn't smile or anything. Why are you saying no to a dance? So definitely practice saying yes more because people can surprise you. Like we shouldn't be judging people anyway, but people can surprise you, give you a really good dance. That like that saying, don't judge a book by its cover. And if you've said no because you're kind of in the queue waiting to dance with another lead, for example, for me personally, that's happened before where I've said like, "Oh, I'm waiting to dance with someone. Can I dance with you later?" And then I make an actual intention and a job to go and find that person after and ask them for a dance. So just because you've said no because you're waiting um, for someone else, for example, or doing something, maybe you need to go to the toilet or you need a break, I then actually go and find that person for a dance later and ask them to dance. I remember one festival I was at and this guy asked me to dance and I was waiting for an artist. So I told them I was waiting for an artist because I've got videos on this. Like I don't queue unless like I know it's quite possible that I'm going to be getting a dance. So I'll leave the link to that video. But I did wait for the dance. And then after that, I think I was just like sitting down after the dance or something. And then it just went into my head like, oh, I've got to dance with that guy. So then I went and found him and danced with him. And he was so like happy that I'd found that and appreciate that. So definitely practice your openness, warm, your receiving capabilities. Habit number 1. Habit number 2 is working on your presence, all about your presence. So feminine energy is actually going to be about how you carry yourself. So not just outside aesthetics, but actually how you carry yourself. This is like, do you carry yourself in a feminine, light, soft, receiving kind of way? How you carry yourself. And the number 1 thing you can work on for your presence is going to be your posture. Standing and sitting up straight, holding yourself up, shoulders back, head held high, your posture is going to really speak volumes about you. Definitely kind of like just walking on your walk, because your walk is very much connected to your posture. So even when we're just walking down the street, walking into a room, how you kind of, the energy you emit and your presence is actually quite a lot determined on your posture. So working on your posture in terms of dancing as a dancer, like there's no way you can be a good dancer if your posture is bad. Like you go from like here to here just by improving your posture in the dance. And you can tell it like, because if your posture is like you've got your shoulders rolling forward, you're kind of shrinking yourself. So you're not radiating that magnetic energy, is what I'm trying to say. So you need to definitely work on your posture, stand up straight. And that will really, really, really be one of the ways you can easily work on your presence and feminine energy. A quick moment. If what I've been saying in this video has been really resonating with you, it probably means we need to go a little deeper. I've created the Magnetic Woman program where I help women like you rebuild their confidence through dance and movement, sensuality, and mindset, so you can stop waiting to be chosen and start radiating from the inside out. All you have to do is click the link in the description box to book in for your free discovery call and find out how I can help you become that magnetic woman. I only open a few free spots for discovery calls each week, and they go fast. So if you're feeling that pull, click the link in the description box whilst it's still available. It's your chance to reconnect with your feminine energy, confidence, and magnetism in and out of the dance. Now let's get back to the video. Another thing for presence, especially in the dance of Kizomba and I think all social dances really, is to work on your styling. Working on your styling, because it's a way that you can add your interpretation to the music, your personality, your flair, a bit of you into the dance. So it's how you kind of decorate the dance, and it's what's going to stand out for whoever you're dancing with and kind of like on the dance floor. And if you're someone who's making videos as well, that is, it's basically your style, your, but within the dance, like your movement style. So definitely adding styling. So that's going to classes and workshops. I have videos on, lots of videos on styling technique that you can do to add to your dance. And if you want to go a lot deeper, I have my online kind of Kizomba beginners course where we work on your presence, your styling, your posture, and things like that in that course. And you can always, as I could say, click the link in the description box and find out about the Magnetic Woman program, because that is how you elevate all of these things, implement all these things, and go deeper to become that magnetic woman. Habit number 3. Now, this is a key habit you need to do, is to be feminine and to be in your feminine energy, to tap into that power, is to do self-care. And there's kind of 2 elements to self-care. There's like the outward kind of element and then the inward kind of element. So the inward kind of element, they both need to be worked on, kind of, in my opinion, equally. But the inward kind of self-care is kind of journaling, meditating, breath work, things like that. Basically your mindset as well, and calming your mind, calming your energy from the inside, and then that is radiating out so that you can be lighter, softer, and be in your feminine energy. And then there's the external kind of self-care, which is going to be like if you do your nails or you're wearing heels, like what are you wearing, your style, your wardrobe, the materials you're wearing, how kind of classy and elegant do you look. So these are things that, again, I work with you on in my coaching, Magnetic Woman program coaching. The link in the description box for a free discovery call to that. So it is really important that you're working on your self-care, inward and outward, and little things can make really the big difference. It could be like your makeup wearing a bolder color so that you can kind of admit that confidence and attract and invite opportunities, dances to you. I was on a job, so I was on a modeling job, and this kind of came up. It's like, what you wearing? So basically, I was modeling some clothes. It was like knitwear, and they put me in a dress, and then they said that they're not going to see my feet, so I don't need to put the heels on. I can put my trainers back on. And I was like, no, I need to still wear the heels, because it's something that like certain clothes, heels do. They change your energy and your frequency. And so like they even change like how you carry yourself, which is what feminine energy is kind of all about. Like the posture you're going to have, the confidence that you have. Like clothes, shoes, they have energy. So don't bypass that and think, oh, it doesn't matter or whatever. like investing in some like key nice pieces that make you feel good is going to shift the needle for you. So definitely self-care. So habit 4 is not really so much as a habit, but more kind of like a discussion I would love to have with you lot, and I want to share my personal experiences as well. It's basically whether, as a follower, as a woman, should you practice leading and should you lead in the dance? So, for me personally, I prefer to be in my kind of feminine energy, and I can easily do that when I'm following. Because to be in your feminine energy, you're kind of in that inviting energy. So instead of potentially asking for dances, you're inviting those dances, whether that's through smiling, being open, receiving, saying yes. Whether that's kind of like what you've done for your self care in your wardrobe, how you styled yourself, or your presence, it's kind of inviting that energy, and I prefer to be in that, and I prefer to be kind of free flowing, and I'm kind of trusting the lead, because to be feminine is really to be trusting that masculine energy. So I prefer to do that in the social, but don't get me wrong, I have learned to lead, and as a teacher of the dance of Kizomba, I think it's very important that if you are teaching, that you know both roles, lead and follow, and can do both roles, so that you can help your students to learn either or both of those roles. So it's definitely not something I'm like against, like, oh, women shouldn't lead, they should only follow. But it's definitely a consideration for you to think about in regards to your kind of energy, your feminine energy, following energy. And it also doesn't mean, I really want to get your take on this in the comments, but it also doesn't mean that when you lead as a woman, you need to be doing it masculine. I would kind of probably shy away from doing that. You can definitely be a softer, a lead, and you can also kind of invite, as a lead, invite your follower to do things. That is what the dance is supposed to be about. But yeah, it's definitely a conversation, and there's other things that you can do as well. Like if you want to lead and follow, is like that I've seen. I try to do it as well, but it depends on like how the night is. When like a woman's leading, then I've seen some of them go in flats, and when they're following, they're in heels. So it kind of signals as well to other people, okay, they're more going to be leading or following. And it also, how you dress can also affect that, like I said, with your feminine energy. So definitely think about kind of what role you want to have in the dance, whether you want to be more typically speaking in your feminine energy and following, or in your more masculine energy towards leading. It's definitely a consideration to have. Let me know in the comments, because I feel like that one is definitely a debate. So thank you so much for watching. And these 4 habits that we've talked about, and definitely the first 3, like the being open, receiving, your presence, and your self-care, are definitely things to work on. And they're not just for Kizomba, they do spill into other social settings. So that's in life, in work, in relationships, dating. So they're really important things to think about and work on. And like I said, being in your feminine energy and attracting and harnessing that power really sets you up to receive a lot of abundance that life can offer. So if this video has resonated with you, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, so you can get more tips on confidence, presence, feminine energy, and how to be that magnetic woman. More details in the description box below if you want to figure out how you can become that magnetic woman through my one-to-one coaching. There's a free discovery call link in the description box. And I'll see you in the next video.